This is the Average to Savage podcast with Paul Guarino. Everyone and anyone, athletes, celebs, and much more.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Average Savage podcast. Our special guest, again, is Lexie Brown. Lexie, how's it going?
Good. How are you? What is this, the fourth time? Third time?
Four in a row.
4 in a row.
Sort of 5.
Yeah. When did we... Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, because we didn't do one before this season started. We're doing it after instead, right? When did we usually do these? Like before the season started or like in the middle?
I'll bring up the stats for you. So 2018 was when we did the in-person.
It was like during media day and stuff.
That was like the preseason. 2019 was at the end of May.
Okay, so that was beginning.
2020 was in July.
Okay, COVID.
And then And then 2021 was in December.
Okay. That was in. Was I home last year? I was back. I was back from France. Okay, cool.
You're home. Because I remember you were about to play in the
Athletes Unlimited. Yeah.
Yep. So that I literally actually wrote that because I was curious about the same thing. I was like, when do we do these usually? So yeah. So let's go with the basketball, the boring stuff first. So yeah, you played in Athletes Unlimited last year. It did really well. Their social media and all that stuff was on point. I know I'd say they did a little better than the main league, but we won't say.
Way better.
So yeah, how was that experience? I know it seemed like you had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was nice to like be a part of the first group to do something. They have a thing called the Player Executive Committee. So it's 4 players that basically leading up to the season recruit players, decide who gets signed, talk about rule changes, basically every decision that's made. We don't like 100% make the decisions. I think the only decisions that the PEC really makes is like what players get to come and go and a lot of the rules. So prior to signing to go play in France, I was a part of that PEC. But then when I decided to go to France, I was not able to be on the PEC anymore, but I pretty much told them, I was like, okay, I'll be back. Probably will not stay overseas the whole season. So I'll be back for AU. This year I'm back in the PEC. I'm not going overseas. So we have a lot of players coming back. Some new players that are interested, which is really cool and exciting. I think a lot of people just saw how fun the environment was, how free flowing the basketball was. Like you said, their socials were on point. They gave everybody a space to tell their own stories and be who they are. And as the season like started shaking out, a lot of certain players were highlighted a little bit more based on their gameplay, which was expected. A lot of them just happened to be WNBA players, which was also expected. I think it was also cool for some WNBA players that, haven't really been able to show their all-around game in the WNBA, come to Athletes Unlimited and pretty much put, all of their skills on full display for everybody to see. So, I think that was my favorite part. And then also just seeing some of the players who never really gotten a fair shot at making a WNBA team or have never been to a camp, get invitations to training camps. And overall, it was just like so much fun. Like, it was just such a nice environment. We had some bumps in the road, some people and, rules and things like that. But again, it's like all a learning process. And that's what happens when you start something new and you're the first at something. So we're just really excited to get started for season 2.
Yeah, definitely. And that was in Vegas, right?
It was in Vegas, yeah.
Gotcha. And then, going into the WNBA season, you were on the Sparks this year. I'd say you had a career year. You started the most games you ever started, played the most games you ever played by one. So how was all that?
It was fun, and I think that even I found myself overshadowing that second season I had in Minnesota, which, I feel like on paper was almost as productive as this year I just had, with less minutes and not having a, starting role on the team. Um, but it was nice to be on a team that I was valued on. My skill set was valued. I felt like I had a real role on the team, which was, make outside shots and play defense. We kind of went through a lot of weird stuff during the season. We lost our coach, we lost a teammate mid-season. She decided to, take some time for herself. And just overall, there's just like a lot of internal change going on with the organization. But I think that I had to make an effort this season to show again, even though it was my fifth season, that basketball is what I love to do. It's what I'm passionate about. It's what my number one focus is. And then going to a city like Los Angeles, you kind of have to prove that a little bit extra to the front office, your teammates, the coaches, because there is a lot going on in LA, and you can't get caught up in the LA lifestyle and the LA life, which, I 100% understand or understood. But me, I found a way to enjoy LA, but stayed really locked in the season. And, my goal was to be one of the best shooters in the W. And I think that up until like the last 10 games of the season, I was probably that. I was dealing with a foot injury towards the end of the season, trying to, get us into the playoffs. But, I think there was too much. The season, the drama that we were having, and, us trying to just be strong and, save face and stay positive. You can only take so much as a group. And I think just towards the end of the season, a lot of us just kind of ran out of gas and emotionally were drained, because I really do think that we had a playoff team, a playoff caliber team, and a team that really cares about each other and a team that wants to play hard for each other. But I think after a certain point in the season, it was just kind of like everyone was just kind of emotionally spent from trying to, not look awful to everybody else. And I think when your job is to perform on the court, you have to be able to focus on performing on the court. And I think a lot of us were not able to do that last season. I think that's why, we set ourselves up to be in a really good position. And then, towards the end of the season, we kind of just died out. But, the morale was high at the end of the season. Energy was good, vibes was good. I felt really good about this season. Like you said, it was a career year for me. And I think we have something special, that we can build in LA. But, I'm an unrestricted free agent. I would love to go back to LA, but I think I put myself in a really good position to, not be, 100% dependent on, LA making a move to keep me there.
Yeah, for sure. Do you go back? I mean, I could tell you look at your sets, but like, how often do you look at your sets?
This year I was looking at my 3-point percentage a lot, because it was well above 50% for a little bit, which I was like, that's pretty cool. Because I've really worked hard to, get my confidence back in my shot. And, when I was in France, I was shooting the crap out of the ball, and in AU, I was shooting the ball really well. But other than that, like, I look at my turnovers, fouls, I like to have some steals. I don't really get as many steals this season as I have in the past, but I was really locked in on that 3-point percentage because, I say all the time, like, how important role players are on teams and specialists are on teams. And you look at the NBA, you have your like 1-2 punch or your 1-2-3 punch, your big three. And, outside of that 1, 2, or 3 players, you have some really important specialists and role players and hustle players. And then even on the bench, you have like energy players, and things like that. And I think with the NBA, obviously they have just more money, more space, more spots, whatever, we know all of that. But they're able to place a dollar amount and a value on these role players to help these teams win. And I think that the W has to do a better job of valuing the role players because they matter. You get the aces. Bebe like saved them in the last game, the finals game. You know, she went off the bench. You know, with all those threes. Like when I wouldn't say that the big three was struggling, but they needed that extra.
Mhm.
And you look at a lot of the teams that have won in the past, like they always have that one player that's like just pushes them over the edge, and then when they win the championship, they go somewhere else
Mhm.
because the team that they were on doesn't have enough money to keep them there, or just doesn't make them feel valued enough for them to stay. And I think that's something that we as a league can do a better job, is building teams instead of just having everybody bouncing around all the time, because that's, you want to see teams that are dominant, obviously, but you want to see more parity in the league also. But like, sometimes a role player is not meant for that star role, and the star is not meant for a role. But like, if you put them all together, you have the perfect mix of, personalities and roles and specialists. Like, you can have a really special team. So I think that, for me, I didn't come into the W think I was ever going to be like a star, a superstar. But, I really thought I could have a really long, solid career being really good at what I do. And that shoot threes and play defense.
How much do you like shooting threes?
I love shooting threes since I've been young. And I started shooting threes when I was young because I just wasn't like very good.
Mhm.
And for some reason, like, shooting mechanics is like something that a lot of people do not care about or focus on. But I'm like, at the end of the day, you got to put the ball in the basket. So if you can't shoot, what are you doing?
Mhm.
So it's like the shooting, I've always been a shooter, and then everything else kind of just caught up. I grew a little bit, I got a little bit more athletic. I found my strengths, my limitations, and things like that. And everything kind of just came together. But, my dad was just like, you just have to be able to shoot the ball, because we don't know if you're going to be able to do anything else, but you're going to be able to shoot it.
Do you think there ever will be a 4-point bucket?
I wanted to bring that up in our last meeting in Athletes Unlimited, because we were talking to the ref, like the head ref who brings all the refs in, and we get to implement whatever rules we want to have, like we can put in. So like the landing space turning into a tech, like we didn't have that in AU last year, and the WNBA implemented it this year, so we're about to implement it into AU. And the shooting, like when like how James Harden and Trey like throw themselves into people,
Mm-hmm.
how NBA basically took that foul away completely from both of them, and then the W did the same, like the veering, I think it's called. We put that in, but I was just like, I almost brought it up, like, can we put in a 4-point line? But when we practiced in Dallas, Christy got us into the Mavericks practice facility. They had a 4-point line on the practice court. So it might be coming for the NBA. And
Interesting.
if that happens, then I will probably be leading the league in 4-pointers for sure.
All right. I've seen you've been doing a lot of different stuff in this off season, like New York Fashion Week. So how was that?
Fashion Week was amazing. Like, all I did was tweet about it, and then like I had like a bunch of people reach out and be like, "Oh, we have this going on, this going on." So I will say the WNBA definitely looked out and hooked me up for that week. So I appreciate them for that. Got me into some really dope fashion shows. I got to meet some really cool designers. My best friends came with me. My best friends that live in LA, they came out there with me. So that was really fun to experience that with them. It was just cool to be able to tap into something else, but still be attached to the WNBA. So, having the best of both worlds. I got to see Michaela and Dee Dee, who walked in the show, which was really amazing. Izzy walked in the show. So just seeing us branching out into the fashion space was really cool, and I'm glad I was able to experience that. And I would love to go back, but I mean, everyone's like, "Why are you like doing so much right now?" I'm like, "Well, hopefully next season I'm like in playoffs still, like, or the finals." So I
Mm-hmm.
won't be able to go to Fashion Week. So I'm gonna experience it all right now, because I don't know if I'll ever be back here, because obviously the goal is to still be playing
Mm-hmm.
during this time. So it was just really cool to be able to, you know, experience that life, that culture and things like that, because that's something I've never been around and something I really want to tap into. So it was like Fashion Week is like a great start.
Those questions are so weird. Like I feel like people want athletes not to live a life.
But don't even get me started. Like, this is the story of my life since I've been in college. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I mean, there's 24 hours in a day, so I think people think we lock ourselves in the gym all day. I'm like, do you guys lock yourselves at your job all day?
Well, the
No, you
well
get
the new
in,
thing
get out.
I think it might be sort of happening to people now that they work from home, and then if they're somewhere out during work hours, then they'll be like, "Why you at, like why you out?"
Yeah, my sister, I was just talking to my sister about this yesterday because, she was working remotely for a little bit. Now she's not working um, from her house anymore. And she was just talking about, she's like, I need like a separation. Like,
Yeah,
some people love the working from home. I personally would hate it. I hated doing online classes when I had to do them in college. So I can't imagine working at my house. Like, I agree with her. Like, there has to be some sort of separation between work and home. And I know it's probably easier for some people and whatever, like things like that. So I definitely understand that. But I can't imagine like closing my computer and then like looking up and I'm like still in like my house and I'm like, but I was just at work and I'm still in the same place. Like that wouldn't be good for my mental at all. So, but yeah, I get what you mean when people are like, because they work at home, you think that you're like obligated to work all the freaking time. But as I got older, my gym time is now, we keep it short and sweet and efficient now. I'm getting a little bit older. I should
yeah,
be able to be in the gym 6, 7 hours a day. And now it's like 2, 3, maybe 4 if we playing like some pickup or something. But we getting in and out now.
yeah. I'll say one. I don't know about the online classes were kind of like a cheat code for me. I don't know about you, but like those are really
I mean, obviously you passed them, but I didn't learn
easy.
anything.
True, but whatever. Trying to get the degree.
Right.
All right, so obviously, I already know you, but I had to do more research and just get some questions going from your social media. So, you know, um, what college football game do you want to go to?
I want That's so crazy you asked me. I was just thinking about that since I just moved to Orlando. I want to go to UCF game. My sister went to UCF, so we might just have to go to one and have her show me around campus and stuff because I've never been to a UCF football game and I heard that she was telling me that they're like insane. So that's the closest university with a good football team to me. And I guess I
You
could go
go
to
to
a
the
Duke.
Duke ones?
I guess I could go to a Duke football game,
It's not
but
the same. It's not the same.
not really the vibes. But shout out to Duke football because they're always pretty solid.
Yeah. What's your social media strategy?
My strategy,
Yeah.
just being myself, really. I feel like Twitter is, if you want to know me as well as you can online, you will go to my Twitter. Um, or maybe TikTok. Instagram is for aesthetic purposes only. And the way Instagram like is now, it's just like if you try to have a strategy around Instagram, you'll lose your freaking mind. Um, the way that they've just completely ignored what everybody wants on there. So, if you want to see me looking nice on vacation in nice settings, you go to Instagram. You want to laugh, go to Twitter. Like you want to talk sports, go to Twitter. And if you really want to see like a mix of both, you'll go to TikTok. But overall, just being myself, being genuine, not really, likes, they are important, obviously, from like a branding standpoint, like when you want deals and engagement and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, like on Instagram and stuff, like I like when people go on my page, people are like, oh, this is like, she has a nice little page. Like she got some cool stuff going on. So, that's really my strategy. It's always been my strategy, just being myself.
Yeah, I see your TikToks. Your TikToks are you got some funny ones up there. You went viral a couple times, right?
A few times. I mean, I wouldn't say viral. Like I said,
Well,
I
yeah.
get the most attention on freaking Twitter for tweeting nonsense. So
I, I love Twitter, so like the best.
I
So.
love Twitter. It's so entertaining.
What's your dream partnership?
My dream partnership is with Peloton.
All right.
Another very close to going out of business.
Who's going out?
So they say. I mean, big companies say that. Meanwhile, they have like millions and billions of dollars just chilling.
Yeah.
That is my dream, to work with Peloton and do some type of like ride series with them. Because I remember that one time they had some athletes on there doing rides, or hosting like group Peloton gatherings and stuff like that. But I love that bike. I love the instructors. They changed my outlook on cycling. So I put that in the universe a few times. I've gotten like really close to getting connected with them a few times, but they kind of have their hands full dealing with post COVID times. So I think maybe in the future, maybe if I like have like a crazy breakout season, I'm gonna just keep dropping the Peloton, line, and hopefully pick it up.
Shout out to my Peloton for like.
Yeah, like Lexie, like you look great. Like, what are you doing, Peloton? Peloton.
How would you describe your style, and why do you like hats?
Why do I like hats? Okay, well, my style is very comfortable always. I think I've tapped into more of a street style the last like year or two. I love crop tops. You don't work for this body and then you hide it. I think some people love that, like, I have a nice body and then I hide it. Like, for me, I'm like, no, because I work really, really hard for this. So y'all go see it. But I like being able to bounce back and forth between like tomboyish and girly. And then like kind of blend it all together. I love heels, but I also love sneakers. I'm a deal with Reebok, so I haven't really been able to wear like a lot of shoes that I used to wear. So I've been like wearing like more like designer sneakers and sandals, because obviously I can't wear other athletic brands like that. So it's been cool to be able to buy different types of things. But other than like shoes and like purses, like all my clothes are like super affordable. I don't really like to spend a ton of money on clothes. And to be honest with you, I used to wear hats when I was younger because I was really self-conscious about my forehead. So I was hiding it a lot. And that's why I was wearing hats when I was younger. And then also in college, if I didn't have like my hair done, I would just have to throw a hat on. And that was often because I was in college, and sometimes you don't have enough money to go get your hair done, or you don't have time to get your hair done because you have class and practice and all this other stuff. So I just throw a hat on or a beanie. But I feel like now I wear hats a lot less than I used to. But then they're just also like really cute accessories, and they sometimes can just really bring an outfit together.
So it wasn't like you actually like hats.
I mean, I love hats, but like I like hated my forehead more than I loved hats. But now I love my forehead. So I showed off more.
All right. That was an interesting statement.
Yeah.
All right, who gets voice notes from you?
Voice notes.
Yeah.
My best friend. His name is Darius. And sometimes like when some nonsense happens, it's too much to type, and I just have to tell him. And then one of my other really good friends, I sent her a lot of voice notes, and then like she'll send me one back of just her laughing at me. So it's like sometimes, yeah, I don't really send a lot of voice notes to people. Because I don't really have that, like, there's not a lot of people that I talk to that I have that much to say to. So I did send an apology to somebody a few weeks ago via voice note, because sometimes I'm like, I'm not putting this in writing. So I apologize. And it worked, but I had to like record it like 4 times. I was like, no, that wasn't right. That wasn't right.
I told you we've been doing this for a while, so I had to research and get some random questions from your social media.
I know, I like that question. That was a good one.
All right. All right. So you know how like I don't even know if it's trending anymore, but still I wrote it down. I wrote these down like a while ago. So like the question.
Yeah, because we were supposed to do this a while ago.
Yeah. like he's a 10 but blank, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. So he's a 10 but he doesn't like basketball.
he doesn't like. I'll say he's like a 5.
Whew. All right, this next one I'm saying because like we know each other, right? So he's a 10, but he calls you Alexis.
0. Negative, negative a million. I hate when people call me like this. Oh my gosh. And I doesn't, and I'm telling you, my parents do not ever call me like, so even when people call me Alexis, like I don't even feel like I'm in trouble. I just feel
Yeah.
like it's a complete
Oh.
stranger that's like looked at my passport or something. Like, what are you calling me Alexis for, you weirdo? So yeah, negative, negative infinity.
Wait, so what happens if you're like at the airport because you have to have your like real name on there? Or what if they
Yeah, I mean
called
they
you?
call
Or
me
you
Alexis,
like
and I
not
always
even?
think it's weird. But like even
Oh,
like on like hotel reservations or
yeah.
something, I'll be like, they'll look at my ID and I'll be like, and it probably says Lexie. I'm like, oh, okay. Um,
But
which is funny
have
because
you
like
ever
I
been
could completely be lying
have
about
you ever
that.
been
But
called on and you're just like not even you don't even like hear it because you're not used to it?
no, every time I hear Alexis, I'm always like,
Yeah.
what? Who is calling me Alexis? Because it usually 99% of the time is someone trying to be funny. So I always hear it.
All right, that was a good one. What's better, a WNBA championship ring or an engagement ring?
Championship ring. I
What do
answered
you?
that way too fast, but no one, no one could take that. I mean, no one could take the engagement ring away, but I mean, technically, the engagement could be called off. But I'll be a champion forever.
What are you watching on Netflix?
um, I just finished the Jeffrey Dahmer show. Um,
I
it
haven't
was
watched it, so I can't. I
it's nuts. You should. I mean, if you don't really like true crime and things like that, then obviously you'll hate it. But like I'm like a big true crime girl, like Law and Order, CSI, Dateline, all that type of stuff, like Snaps. So I like watching stuff like that, and like I knew who Jeffrey Dahmer was, but I didn't know like the extent of his crimes and like how long it went on and things like that. So like a lot of people were, criticizing it because yeah, obviously you don't want to, put the victims' families and friends and stuff through that all over again. So like, my heart goes out to them when, a new Jeffrey Dahmer film or TV show comes out. They're like, dang, like, can y'all let our people like just rest?
yeah.
But I had no idea like what his crimes were, like that he had a very specific victim type, how bad the Wisconsin police or like handled the situation and stuff like that. So for me, it was pretty informative. A lot of people disagreed, and but people hate everything now. So, but I mean, every time people ask me about it, I'm like, yeah, you should watch it if you like are into that type of stuff because I think it was like one of the first times like the victims were kind of discussed, and I think everything else about Jeffrey Dahmer was just about him. So it was the first time they kind of put the victims and said showed them and what they went through, what their families went through, and stuff like that. So I don't like to say like I enjoyed it because it's Jeffrey Dahmer, but I thought it was a good show.
Yeah, I'm not like I don't really like those type. But what was the one that was like a few years ago and it was like viral? Everyone was watching it and it was like the kid killed some like it was a kid killed somebody, and I remember like the interviews and the guy was like they were like yo he was like mentally not all there but he like killed somebody. I forgot what it was, but I remember everyone
It was
was
on Netflix.
yeah. I totally forgot, but I just remember like I liked that one, but it was crazy.
Yeah, there's like a lot of shows
What about you watched
that.
the Manti Te'o documentary?
Oh my gosh, yes. I
That's my favorite one right now.
that was like every time I thought I was like, okay, it can't get worse. It got worse. And I was like, all right, man, I tell you. I know you were a kid, but no,
Not really.
absolutely not. And I remember the tail end of that because we were like pretty young when like that blew up.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really like a huge football person at that age either, at least not college football. So I just was seeing like fake girlfriend, fake girlfriend. But like I did not know like how deep that whole story was, as far as like him using it to like play his whole senior season for the dead girlfriend. And when I was watching it, I was like, it was hard for me to wrap my mind around it, because we live in a time where like that would never happen. Like
I think it still happens. Catfish is still around.
I mean, yeah,
TV show is
Catfish,
still
yeah.
around.
I watch Catfish all the time. And it's like, are y'all serious? But even like when the girl that he was showing people pictures of, like she was a real person.
Yeah.
So like in 2022, Manti Te'o gonna go on the football game. This is my dead girlfriend. Somebody on earth is gonna be like, I know her. I saw her yesterday. Like, that is not your dead girlfriend. And then it would be over. But like back then, like that wasn't really a thing yet. And I feel really sad for him. He seems like he's still very much naive. Like if someone tried to catfish him again right now, they probably would be able to.
Nah, he's married and got kids now.
I still think that. Like, but oh my gosh, my heart was breaking for him. And then the one that was catfishing him, like that whole situation.
Like
no remorse, no nothing. I was like, you're like after there was like a time where like that person felt like most hated for like a few days, like after that documentary dropped, because I was just like, she didn't feel any type of way about that whole situation. Like she's just like, I found myself and I'm free and da da da, and then was hula dancing, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't get how. I don't know. I don't know how he was not more mad. And what I mean, maybe
I know, but I'm glad that he was able to tell his side, because I saw a lot of like sports writers like publicly apologizing to him on Twitter and stuff, which I was like, I think he definitely deserves that. But I know his parents were probably so embarrassed. I was embarrassed for them. I was like, how are you guys gonna let your son like do this? This is partially y'all's fault too. But I'm glad he got his like full circle moment and got to clear it up, because he went through a lot, and then his career was like ruined because mentally he was just like messed up. So it was a great documentary.
The Redeem Team just came out, so I didn't watch it. But
I know I'm about to watch it on this. I'm about to fly to Italy in a little bit, so I'm gonna watch it on a plane.
Oh, you're going on vacation?
Yeah,
you're living your life.
Living my life, sure am.
You got to tell me if the pizza is better there or not.
I have been to Italy in college for our foreign trip, and I want to say that I feel like you can find like pretty authentic pizza in the States. It's not as fresh though, but the pasta like is different over there for sure. Everything is just more fresh. The wine over there is better too. But some people like just don't like fresh food because they're so used to the trash that we eat here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I love it. I'm like, that's what I'm most excited about is the food.
What's the last thing you bought on Amazon?
I don't really shop on Amazon that much. What did I buy on Amazon?
All right, or it was
maybe like a tripod, because I break mine constantly. Like I really don't be on Amazon like that on purpose. But I bought like a 10-pack of lip glosses that I usually get from the beauty supply store, but they had them in bulk on Amazon, so I bought them there instead.
But the IG ads get you?
Oh yeah. I'm getting my ass kicked right now with hair companies. Oh my gosh. Like blonde hair, red hair, curly, all types of hair. Probably prefer things straight from IG ads, definitely. Usually clothes.
I just bought something from Instagram and I felt weird.
Yeah, like
felt weird.
I like looked into that, but it's like sometimes like there's not a page attached to the store. Yeah. And then sometimes there is, and then you go in the comments of like a post and they're like, I ordered this 5 weeks ago and I still didn't get it. So I try to not order shit from Instagram, but I'll be looking. I'll be looking on there for sure.
Well, I guess we were just talking about vacation, but I also had where do you want someone to take you on vacation?
I want someone to take me to Turks and Caicos. I would say Bali or Bora Bora, but honestly, I don't even think I personally will ever take that trip because the travel time is absurd. And I don't know if I want to see something that bad to sit on a plane for 25 plus hours. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if someone flies me like on a private plane there, I'll go. But I'd be looking into stuff like that randomly because I like to know stuff. And I saw the flight times and I was like,
Maybe you have to do like a stop somewhere.
yeah, because those flights are ridiculous to go sit in a room on water and do nothing. But like when I go on vacation, I know like sometimes like those types of like they're like getaways, but I like to go do stuff. Like I'm not gonna fly all that way to just sit in a room, like and bike on a dock. That's from what I've seen people doing in the Maldives and Bora Bora and stuff. That's all people are doing is laying in the room in their private pool and going on a bike ride. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's worth all that for me, but that could change when I'm a little older. But I want more peace. You know, now I travel for adventure and fun and party and all that. So,
Yeah, one of my friends went to Bora Bora for his honeymoon, like right after it was last year, so it
yeah,
was
like
still like
Thanksgiving, honeymoon, for
but it was
sure.
like, but it was right after COVID, so like stuff was still shut down. And I was like, dude, that like sucks. Like you didn't even.
Do anything, but I mean, obviously, like that's what the point
Yeah,
of a
it's
honeymoon
cool. It was
is.
cool. Like, all right. All right. I know you've been on a lot of podcasts and different things like that. So what's your least favorite question you get asked?
My least favorite question. Mm, I don't know. I don't think I have a least favorite question. I really don't have a least favorite question. At least not on podcasts. Like reporters be asking me stupid questions, but people on podcasts, like y'all know what y'all doing. So,
What's the worst reporter question? Like when you have a bad game,
oh,
say
I
why you
know
have a bad
exactly
game.
what question. This year, after a game, when I shot the ball well, a reporter said, "What did you do to improve your shooting in the off season?"
Now, when it comes to report,
Improve? Yeah, I mean statistically, yeah, I improved, but statistically also I'm an above average shooter. So I was like, improve. I said, I just never got enough shots up in a game. What are you talking about? Like, I've always been a shooter. Like as if I like locked myself in the gym and did form shooting for 3 months. Like, oh, I was so offended. I was so offended when he asked me that. Like, improve? No, sir.
do
It's
you
all
like?
about
Do you like? I know you've been on different teams now, but like, is it mostly the same reporter? Like, do you know them now, or is some of them?
there's like a handful that I know. I mean, I have my issues with the W media because a lot of them have no journalism background whatsoever outside of Twitter. Um, some have, you know, emerged from the Twitter world and have proven themselves to be, a fair and um, thoughtful reporter, even though a lot of some of them don't really have a background in that, and then a lot of them just be talking and don't really know what they're talking about or have any really real experience with basketball. So, um, I'm not the biggest advocate for the WNBA Twitter group that has emerged the last few years. I think I've actually muted that hashtag completely off my Twitter feed. So
I think.
I think they do a lot sometimes. I think sometimes they make valid points, but more times than not, they are saying things that annoy the hell out of me. So I'd rather just not see it.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Kelsey Plum says she has the WNBA blocked on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, muted.
Or
I
weird.
think block is a little aggressive for me, but I have a lot of WNBA things muted, which is it's just funny to say because you're like, y'all need to support us more, watch us more, but like we're in it, like we're doing it, like that doesn't apply to us. And like sometimes it's like a lot all the time, and like you don't want to get on Twitter and just see like all these opinions and just stupid
Yeah,
things. Like I mean, I
no,
have
that
a lot
makes
of
sense.
people and things muted on
I just like,
social.
well, I kind of do it sometimes too, but like, there's people. I was talking to someone, and they're like, "Yo, I have a whole separate account for like different things, like purposely, so I see them on my timelines and stuff."
Well,
That
I
works.
there's like my mom told me like there's like a setting on your Twitter to where you can like switch off having like related
Yeah,
accounts. And I did that one day, and like just seeing a whole nother side of issues and conversations was very refreshing for me. But I also have the self-awareness that not everybody thinks like me. So even when I like click on something or I'm talking about something, I do like to look like through the thread and see like what other people think about it, just to see what other people think about it. But there are like a lot of people in this world that like they think that like everybody on the earth thinks like them. And like if they run into somebody that doesn't think like them, they're like against them. And I think that's the weirdest thing ever. And but I had to switch it back because I follow a lot of funny things come on my Twitter. So I had to go back to my people because I've like curated my timeline on Twitter like perfectly. Like it's like probably my favorite timeline I have is my Twitter one.
all right. I know they're making a lot of different changes too, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's kind of
Yeah,
they're
like
making like
whatever
circles and
whatever
like
algorithm Twitter and TikTok have, that's what Instagram need to take. Because whatever Instagram got going on right now is some bullshit and I hate it. Like, and I love like I had to
trying
mute
to
like
post
all
reels.
this like I had to mute all of like the sporting pages because that's all I see because they post
Yeah,
76 times a day. So I'm like, no normal person is posting that often. So like my friend that I love seeing pictures of because they do fun things and cute outfits, I'm never gonna see hers because freaking Bleacher Report is posting 700 reels in 2 hours, and
yeah.
all I'm gonna see is Bleacher Report. But I love Bleacher Report, so it's a dilemma. Do I want to see Bleacher Report more or my friends? So Bleacher Report had to go.
You gotta get that. You gotta get that
And I
burner.
still don't see my friends because now I see because you follow Bleacher Report, maybe you'll like
You,
this page instead. Like,
you gotta get the burner account that just you follow just sports on there.
oh my gosh, like yeah, I might have to because I have a burner account for like fashion and stuff like that. Um, and I go on there a lot for like inspo. Because I obviously that doesn't come from like a ton of people that I follow and know. So I might have to do that for sports. But I like that they follow me, so I can't unfollow them
Yeah,
because I think it's cool that like Bleacher Report and ESPN and all them follow me. So
true. I gotcha. Um, this one will make you think a little. You might come up with something fast. I think. What's something most people think is true that you believe isn't? It could be anything.
freaking Mercury retrograde.
What is that?
And people are like, no, it's in retrograde. That's why everything's going wrong. Or that's why I have a bad attitude. No, you have a bad attitude, you have a bad attitude. Like,
I,
what
I'm
the
so
hell is
confused.
I don't even know what Mercury retrograde is. It's all that like astrology trash. Oh, you're a
Mercury.
Scorpio.
Oh,
Oh,
that.
you're a
Oh
Cancer.
no.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no.
but retrograde, no, but like retrograde is like the way the planets or something is aligned and like it makes shit on Earth be weird. So people think like when there's like events happening back to back to back, people are like, is Mercury in retrograde? No, the world is just is weird. People are weirdos. Like, hold yourself accountable for doing weird stuff and
Look,
don't blame the universe for everything.
well, you taught me something new today.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and search that up.
'Cause I
Go
know
on
the
Twitter because even
Merc-
people are like,
Mercury.
even like with all the stuff going on, like people are like, Mercury's is retrograde is almost over, guys. It's okay. No, not why this thing. This is not why things are happening. And people really be locked into that stuff and the horoscopes and your rising sun, moon, and all that. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm glad y'all are passionate about it, but we are not finna blame behavior on your sign.
I
No.
don't like the horoscope thing.
I mean, it be like
It's all right.
sometimes it be on point, but I'm never gonna use my sign as an excuse as to why I
Yeah.
reacted.
I could also read other ones, and I could also, you know, how they have the daily ones. I could also read
Yeah,
one
like you
and
can
relate to the
relate.
other
I
ones.
feel
So,
like you can relate
yeah.
if you took the sign off the top, or
Yeah.
people will be like, will post something, they'll be like, what sign is this? You open the comments, people are like, every sign. So I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we even talking about?
Yeah. So, no more Chick-fil-A Indian food.
Still love Chick-fil-A. I actually almost got it this morning, but the hotel I'm at had, oh my gosh, I had the best hotel breakfast. Like it, the breakfast I just had at this hotel tasted like someone's grandma cooked it up herself and brought it to the hotel. Like it was so good, like fresh. It didn't taste dry. The eggs weren't like runny out of the box. I had like a nice little omelet. So I'm glad I didn't get Chick-fil-A this morning. My new favorite food is tacos. So we have left Chick-fil-A. If I had to eat something for the rest of my life, it would be tacos from taco trucks in LA.
I think out of everything over the years, your food changes a lot.
I would consider myself almost a foodie, a full-time foodie now. I've tapped into seafood finally. My taste buds have matured, I think, and I will try all things. The Indian food was delicious, but my stomach was hurting for like 2 days. But tacos have my heart. Chick-fil-A always got a place in my heart, but tacos have definitely overtaken Chick-fil-A for my favorite food right now. I love tacos.
Was that because you were in LA and they had good tacos there?
I think I've always loved Chipotle, which isn't like that's not tacos, but it's Mexican food. I've always loved Mexican food. I discovered the beauty of tacos last year. I think from I kept seeing them on TikTok and I had to go try them. And in LA, they're everywhere in the trucks, but like they have good everything, quesadillas, steak tacos. But yeah, it's just tacos. I mean, obviously they're not great for you, but they're not the worst. It's better than Chick-fil-A. And I can have like 10 tacos, like and be good. Like, and they're like $2 a taco. Like it's great.
Oh yeah. Do you want to do a NBA cut 'em, bench 'em, start 'em?
An NBA what?
Like cut, bench, start.
Oh yeah. All right, let's go.
Dame Lillard, Steph Curry, John Moran.
Oh, and you know Dave is my dog, but he gotta go now. Starting job, benching Steph, and cutting Dame.
Damn.
Ja might be one of my favorite players in the league. He's so fun. He's like this new era of players. Like it's like if you want to how to the young kids and college kids, act and carry themselves, Ja. And I think he does it like in a good way, except for on Twitter. Sometimes he kind of goes a little crazy on Twitter, but I think it's funny. And I think that he didn't let people shame him off of Twitter, which I love that. And he just kept staying on there. And he pulled other players onto Twitter that ain't been on Twitter in years. So I think that that's cool that he is on there and he interacts with fans and stuff. But then he like brings it on the court. So yeah, definitely one of my faves. Sorry, Dame.
Because of experience, I'm taking Damian Lillard.
I just and I don't know. He's just all the way in Portland. Like, it's like on the end of the earth. Has no intention of leaving. He doesn't like it. I mean, obviously, I can't, like, I hate when people speak on situations they know nothing about, but it just looks like he just doesn't care about what happens in Portland. Like, you see these guys like politicking, trying to get their teams better, and I think he'd just be chilling in Portland,
So,
which
all
I
right.
guess is
How about
fine.
scenario question? If he wins a chip in Portland, is that more valuable than, like, say, Kevin Durant's 2 chips? And
Oh, for sure. But that's never gonna happen because no one's going to Portland. I
yeah, but
mean,
chip.
I feel for him. It's a hard sell. Like, it's Portland,
I guess.
but I don't really think he like makes that much of an effort. But he said, I mean, he always says he's not interested in the super team, building a team type. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, that's fine because everyone else is. So you're just never gonna win a championship.
Yeah.
But he's making a lot of money and setting up his family for the rest of their lives. And at the end of the day, that is the most important thing.
True. Are you a model now?
You're like, a lot of people ask me that. It's so funny. No, but I was in LA and people do a lot of stuff like that out there. So I just then tap it in. But I've always done stuff like that. No one cared before, but I did. Um, that's so funny. I'm trying to get on Sports Illustrated
True.
since that's what we're doing now. So I would love to do a Sports Illustrated one day. But like I've always wanted to do that. I used to want to do like the body issue, but I think I would draw the line there. I think that's a little too much. I think those pictures are beautiful, but I don't think I could do anything like that. Um, but yeah, I would love to try and model for somebody's brand, but you kind of just have to put yourself out there, which is what I'm doing. So I'm glad that you asked that. It makes me feel good.
When's like a Reebok shoot?
Don't Me and Reebok gonna have to have a conversation very soon because there needs to be something with me on it somewhere. I
Gotcha.
mean, I'm plugging them with this Foot Locker campaign I got. So when I do things like that, I think they're like pretty satisfied with that. But again, I've always been gone, so I'll be around a little
True.
bit more. So hopefully, um, and they've been going through like some changes internally also.
Hmm.
Um, so I just got to be patient. They take care of us. So
Oh yeah, I think they recently got bought out, or didn't? Yeah, Shaq and
mhm.
the team. Yeah, Shaq and
Yeah, like they've been going through a lot, and they've managed to like keep us, a priority. So definitely grateful for that.
that's dope. What are your thoughts on us doing this annually?
I think it's funny. Honestly, I don't think like I think it's gonna be funny to see how different I am, but still like very much the same.
Like, it just happened that it was like your rookie year and stuff.
Yeah, when I was
Like, it wasn't like a
well at
planned
that
event. I was
time,
like,
I
oh, we're gonna have
wasn't
it here.
the misery hadn't hit me yet. So I'm glad you got me at a high point in Connecticut because if you had waited till like this time, after my first season, I would have been like the worst, and you probably wouldn't want to do this again.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, no, I think it's dope. I think like who else? Like no one. Like I don't know. Yeah, besides the Billy.
Yeah, like you're gonna have to send me. You're gonna have to make like an edit of all the answers, how they do with Billy, and then send them to me. I'll put them on my Instagram like as a reel. Because I think it'd be cool to see
A
like because you're
montage.
gonna see like my first year, I'm like very excited, and then middle 2 years, I'm kind of like, what the fuck is going on?
Well,
And
the
now like I'm back, kind of like to rookie year Lex, like excited for the future and things like that. But yeah, we're gonna have to like make some type of edit and how we've gotten like more comfortable. Like obviously the first time it was like more formal. Now I'm like laying down in the hotel. So I think people would really enjoy seeing, a few answers like all back to back to back.
yeah. So the third one, I believe, that was when, yeah, the COVID year. was when I asked you the same question, some of the same questions, and then in the edit, it wasn't like a clip, but it was inside the main video that it was going like back and forth.
Yeah, I think that would be dope. Cause I would definitely put that on everything, actually.
Montage.
Hmm.
All right. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Oh wait, you got any tea or something? You want to speak on anything else?
Um,
Evil. That was evil. That was evil right there.
I know I ain't got nothing. I don't have a thing, I really just be out here living and existing and enjoying life, being grateful and blessed. So I'm happy I ain't got no tea. I try to, and if I do hear some tea, I'm just like, I don't care about it. I don't want to hear it. I know yesterday I got into it with people about the Draymond Jordan Poole incident on Twitter. But I'm just like, y'all always show like that y'all have never been like on the athletic team before. And it's fun if you haven't. But yes, people fight in practice. People fight in games. People fight everywhere. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously it wasn't right what he did, but I was like, why are y'all all acting like this is the first fight that has happened in a practice? Like, I just thought everybody's reaction was very strange.
I think it was one. It's like NBA too. It was Draymond Green. Like in NFL, it's like that.
But I'm just like, are y'all mad that Draymond hit Jordan Poole, or are y'all finally happy that y'all can talk shit about Draymond Green, like how y'all always wanted to?
Both.
Like, yeah, I think Draymond Green is really annoying, but I think he's really good at his job, and this is his personality that everyone has allowed to be his personality for years. So based on the reactions of the team, like, that is not the first fight that has happened in practice. I want to know who leaked the video. That is the real question that people need to be asking.
It's an intern that's getting fired.
Or quit.
Or quit.
Or had enough because
sold it to TMZ and got some.
Oh my goodness.
Bag.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, it was not okay. And then everyone's like, he knocked him out. I'm like, y'all don't know if he knocked him out. The video stopped. Like, y'all don't know anything. It was just like so much, like, the way people just like speculate on situations now, or people like, I bet you that Draymond was tired of this, and I bet Jordan Poole was. I'm like, y'all don't know these, like, y'all don't know any of them. Like, it's like the weirdest thing ever, how people are able to just freely build these scenarios and situations in their head and then go to Twitter about it. Like, no, they're gonna figure it out. Maybe they won't be able to move past this. I would love for them to win another championship after this happens. And then what is everybody gonna say? Like,
I just think it was more like to like one, like I was saying, like if it happens in the NFL, which it happens every training camp and videos come out, but
everyone's like, yeah, competitive.
Yeah.
No.
I guess
like, what is the difference?
Because they actually hit people.
Yeah. Like hockey.
Hockey, you could literally fight in the game.
Like, it's so weird. So I'm like, y'all.
Imagine this would. I mean, it'd be pretty dope. Imagine they could really fight in like NBA, like hockey does. Like, the ref just gets in between them and they just go at it.
Man, those would be the worst fights ever because none of them guys really want to fight for real. That's why when they be squaring up, that's so funny. Like, if y'all really wanted to throw a punch, y'all would. But y'all don't want to.
Well, appreciate you coming on. Good luck in year 6.
6. We made it.